What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. So again, for another day, NIO is in the red. Right now trading about 2% at 1.7% in the red, and they're trading right around $30. Now you could see this negatively, or you could see this from a positive perspective, because NIO actually received a new price upgrade, and this is a 127% increase from their current share price. So I'm going to cover that price upgrade as well as a few others from different analysts. And I'm also going to cover some of the delisting fears that people are worried about and possibly put some of that concern to ease. So first up, Deutsche Bank actually upgraded their price target on NIO, and they upgraded their price to $70. Now this is a 12-month price upgrade, which means that they predict NIO would hit $70 in the next 12 months. So basically by about the end of 2022, they're figuring NIO is going to be trading at about $70. I do want to mention though that oftentimes analysts do change their price ratings on different companies as they get more information and as they see the stock trading over that period. But there's also several other analysts that have recently commented on NIO, and Goldman Sachs, which is one of the big ones, actually upgraded NIO from a neutral rating to a buy rating, and they set a $56 price target, although this was back on Thursday, October 7th. But the good news is that they haven't changed that rating since then. And there also have been some downgrades as well, including Zacks Investment Research, which downgraded NIO from a hold to a sell, and they have a price target of $44. Now even $44, when you take into consideration where NIO's trading right now, that's still almost a 50% upgrade from their current share price. Now this was back on Friday, November 12th, so it was just about a month ago. But they also haven't changed their price since then, just like Goldman Sachs. Now there have also been a few other analysts that have changed their ratings in the last few months, and I'll throw up that article here so you guys can see it. But I think one of the other big price upgrades was actually from Citigroup, and they raised their price target on NIO from $70 up to $87, and they gave it a buy rating, and that again was in November on November 11th. But they noted that this move was a valuation call, and out of all these analyst ratings, only one of them has rated with a sell rating, 3 of them have a hold rating, and 13 have issued a buy rating to NIO. And based on data from MarketBeat, NIO right now has a consensus rating of a buy and a consensus price of $64.06. So if you take anything away from this video, it's that NIO right now has a consensus buy rating of over 100% of their current valuation. Now I'm not saying that these analysts are right, and I'm not saying that NIO is actually going to hit these prices, but with such a big majority of analysts saying that NIO is a buy and having these price targets that are well beyond where NIO's trading right now, it definitely makes NIO seem like they're on sale right now. And at least in my opinion, if I were looking into NIO and I hadn't bought in yet, I would consider buying in right now when NIO is dipping and when they're trading below $30 or right around $30. Other than recently, we hadn't seen it for quite some time. And I'm not a financial advisor, but if I was looking into buying more shares of NIO, I would definitely want to buy in when the company is lower and when the share price is at an all-time low as compared to buying in when it's high. The whole goal is to buy in low and sell high. You can't do that if you're always buying in at the top and then the stock price drops. And just for another perspective on things, here's an article from CNN Business, and it shows a graph of different analyst predictions. It shows the high, the median, and the low over the next 12 months. And out of 24 analyst ratings, offering a 12-month price forecast for NIO, they have a median price target of $58.22 with a high of $87.33 and a low of $27.10. So even the low, which usually on a typical stock can be lower than the share price, and although they are lower, they're only lower by 10%. And we've seen swings of 10% both negative and positive from NIO many times in the past within one trading day. So on the low end, for NIO to only drop 10% with them trading right around $30 right now and dropping to 27, that's like worst case scenario based on these analyst ratings. And the median estimate represents over a 94% increase from their last price. Now I do want to stress that this isn't me saying that you guys should be buying into NIO, because I'm not a financial advisor and I don't get paid to talk about NIO, but I would definitely take something like this into consideration if I was doing research on a company and I wasn't sure if I wanted to invest in them or not. Now there is one other catalyst to keep in mind, especially when investing in a Chinese electric vehicle company like NIO. And this doesn't apply just to NIO, it also applies to Li Auto and XPeng as well, because they are also electric vehicle companies that operate out of China. But the major concern is possible delisting fears. If you guys haven't heard, Didi, which is also a Chinese company, actually said that they're going to be removing themselves from the New York Stock Exchange, and Uber also announced that they plan to sell their stake in Didi. And the reason why this is such a big deal is because Didi actually listed back in June, and so within 6 months of being listed on the New York Stock Exchange, they're actually removing themselves, and so this is concerning for other people investing in Chinese companies. Now I'm sure if you guys are invested in NIO, this may be something that's in the back of your mind, and you may be concerned that NIO could be delisted in the future. But I'm going to give you 5 different things that you should know about delisting, and specific to NIO, whether they could be delisted in the future or not. And number 1 is that in the event of delisting, notable Chinese EV stocks could pursue a Hong Kong listing, and earlier this year, NIO, Li Auto, and XPeng were already pursuing a listing on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange, and XPeng also considered listing on Shanghai's Star Market. And the reason why this is important is because investors could possibly exchange their American depository shares for Hong Kong shares if a delisting did occur. However, if it did occur, it would create a lot of volatility in the price movement, and it could prove adverse in the short term. Also, on December 2nd, the SEC finalized rules to implement the Holding Foreign Companies Accountable Act, and this law basically gives the SEC power to delist companies if the Public Company Accounting Oversight Board isn't able to audit requested reports for 3 consecutive years. And this to me is the thing that most concerns different investors in these Chinese companies. They're scared that the Chinese companies aren't going to allow the SEC to audit their reports, or that they're not going to have 3 consecutive years worth of reports. Because according to CraneShares, they said that it's the Chinese regulators that are actually preventing US regulators from inspecting the audits. Unfortunately, it seems as though the issue has been politicized, and these companies are all audited by the Big Four accounting firms. But under Chinese law regulators, they're not allowing these audits to be sent to the PCAOB. But this leads to number 5, which is on the bright side. Investment bank Goldman Sachs believes that Chinese regulatory risks are already priced into the share price of all these Chinese stocks. Now, I don't agree 100% with this statement, but I do somewhat agree because we've seen these prices pretty much holding steady for the last few months. We have seen dips and increases, but it's not really been anything drastic. They've really been trading pretty flat for the past few months, and this is when people have had the most concerns about possible delistings. I think if you've been investing in any kind of Chinese company, especially one that's newer to the market like these EV companies, you've probably always dealt with the fact that people are scared that the company is going to become delisted, or it's always been a fear to some people. Pretty much since I've been reporting on NIO and giving you guys different news and updates about them, people have always been concerned about delisting, and it's always been something mentioned in many articles. And apparently right now, there's different people saying that Chinese stocks are going to be delisted by 2024. Now personally, I think that they're just fear-mongering and they want people to sell out of their shares, and this also could be due to the big institutions that are shorting NIO, and they just want the price to go down even further. So that's another thing to keep in mind. If these big institutions can scare away everyday investors and get them to sell out of their positions and get the price to drop, they're going to make money by shorting the stock. Basically, as a quick explanation, for those of you who don't know how shorting works, these big funds borrow shares at the current trading price. So say NIO is at $40, and then if NIO drops to $30, they give those shares back at $30 and they net the difference. Now that's a really broad explanation and it doesn't really get into any of the details, but I think that should give most of you a good idea of how this works and why a lot of these big hedge funds want to short NIO and why they actually want NIO to drop. And aside from delisting fears, there's also a lot of fear about the Federal Reserve hiking up interest rates for 2022. And this isn't affecting only NIO, it's affecting a lot of tech stocks and pretty much the market as a whole. It's hard to grow in a market where there's a lot of fear and where people are afraid to invest their money because they're scared it's going to lose value. But at least in the short term, there is one thing to look forward to, and that's NIO Day, which is in 2 days on the 18th. So keep your eyes peeled for NIO Day, because after the event, next Monday, I'm going to be making a video and going over exactly what happened at the event and how it could affect NIO share price over the next year or so. Also, leave me a comment down in the comment section if you guys agree with the median price target set by the 24 analysts on CNN. And remember, they had the price of $58.22 for NIO in 12 months. If you disagree, let me know what your price prediction is for NIO in the next 12 months. Also, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like because it really does help out the channel. And with that said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you back here in the next one. Bye.